You're the one people call when things fall apart. The calm one, the stable one, the one who handles it. But when you're not okay, you don't call anyone. You tell yourself it's fine. You'll deal with it. You always do. So why does being strong feel so lonely? You became reliable early, maybe in your family, maybe in friendships, maybe at work. When tension rises, you regulate yourself fast. You don't explode. You don't panic. You fix. You listen. You absorb. People admire this. They say you're mature, grounded, independent. But there's a quiet side effect. You rarely let yourself fall apart. When you're overwhelmed, you go silent. When you're hurt, you minimize it. When someone asks, "Are you okay?" you say, "Yeah, I'm good," even when you're not. Over time, this becomes identity, not just behavior. You are the strong one. And identities are powerful because once you internalize them, you protect them. Psychology calls this role engulfment when a social role becomes fused with your self-concept. If you are the stable one, then instability feels like failure. If you are the strong one, then weakness feels like betrayal. But here's the part no one sees. Strength without expression turns inward, and what turns inward becomes pressure. You start feeling emotionally distant, not because you don't care, but because no one sees the parts you hide. And maybe the deeper question is, when did your value become tied to holding everything together? You didn't choose this randomly. You adapted. In psychology, there's something called parentification, when a child takes on emotional responsibility early, not always dramatically, sometimes subtly. You learn that stability reduces chaos, that your calmness helps others breathe. So your nervous system built a rule. If I stay composed, things stay safe. Composure became control. Control became worth. And worth became strength. This isn't dysfunction. It's intelligence. Your brain optimized for your environment. But strategies that keep systems stable can quietly suppress your own needs. And the longer you suppress, the harder it becomes to recognize what you need at all. So what's happening under the surface? Why does strength slowly become isolation? Let's break it down. When others are distressed, your brain activates empathy networks, including areas linked to emotional resonance. But instead of staying in shared vulnerability, your prefrontal cortex steps in quickly. It regulates, it organizes, it problem solves. This is a form of cognitive control, useful, effective. But here's the hidden cost. Repeated emotional suppression, even subtle, activates stress physiology. Research shows that suppressing emotion increases sympathetic nervous system activation. Your body stays slightly on guard. You look calm, but internally you're working. Over time, your brain learns. Expressing my distress destabilizes others. So it downregulates your signals. This is called self-silencing, not lying, not faking, just minimizing. Think of your emotional system like a pressure valve. If you constantly tighten the valve to keep things steady, pressure doesn't disappear, it builds. And here's the paradox. Because you rarely show distress, others assume you don't need support, which confirms your role, which reinforces the behavior. This is social reinforcement. Strength, praise, vulnerability, discomfort. Your brain chooses the praise behavior, and slowly you become indispensable, but unseen. So how do you stay strong without disappearing inside that strength? This isn't about abandoning responsibility. It's about redistributing it. Here are 4 principles, each grounded in how your nervous system works. 1, practice selective transparency. What to do. Share 1 small, real emotional state per week. Not dramatic, just honest. Why it works. Vulnerability activates social bonding circuits, including oxytocin pathways. When expression is met with safety, your brain updates its belief that sharing equals destabilizing. This weakens self-silencing patterns. Example, instead of "I'm fine," say "I've actually been more tired than usual." Watch what happens. Most people don't fall apart, they lean in. 2, redefine strength internally. What to do, shift from strength means never needing. 2, strength includes expressing need. Why it works, cognitive reappraisal changes emotional meaning. When vulnerability is reframed as competence, not weakness, your threat response decreases. Identity flexibility reduces stress. Example, ask for help with something small. Notice that your respect doesn't evaporate. Your identity expands. It doesn't collapse. 3, allow others to regulate themselves. What to do, resist immediately fixing someone's discomfort. Stay present without solving. Why it works? If you always regulate others, you reinforce your caretaker role. By stepping back slightly, you reduce role engulfment and allow relational reciprocity. Your nervous system learns that chaos does not require your constant control. Example, when a friend vents, instead of advice, say, "That sounds heavy," and stop. You're not abandoning them. You're sharing space. 4, check for emotional accumulation. What to do? Once a week, ask yourself, what have I been carrying quietly? Write it down. Why it works. Emotional labeling reduces limbic activation and prevents chronic suppression. Unprocessed emotion tends to amplify over time. Processing prevents pressure buildup. Example, in a quiet moment, write one frustration you haven't said aloud. You don't have to act on it. Just acknowledge it. Pressure releases through awareness. Here's the model to remember. You are not strong because you suppress. You are strong because you regulate. But regulation is not elimination. Think of yourself as a bridge. You've been holding others across storms. But bridges also need maintenance. Cracks ignored become fractures. Small repairs prevent collapse. Selective transparency is repair. Shared responsibility is repair. Internal acknowledgement is repair. Strength doesn't disappear when you soften. It stabilizes. You became strong for a reason. And that strength matters. It has helped people. It has helped you survive. But you don't have to earn your place by being the least complicated person in the room. You don't have to be the emotional container for everyone else. You are allowed to need. Allowed to wobble, allowed to be seen without solving. Next time someone asks if you're okay, pause. Notice the automatic "I'm fine" and consider what would happen if strength didn't mean silence. Because maybe the hidden cost of being strong isn't exhaustion, it's invisibility, and you were never meant to carry everything alone.